All right, Grammys, we're back for another deep dive. It's Sunday, February 2nd, 2025, Grammy night.
Grammy night, indeed.
So whether you're getting your watch party snacks ready or just tuning in to see what all the buzz is about, we're going to break down everything you need to know.
You got it.
We're diving deep into a recent article that covers all the essential Grammy details, from the nominees to the performers.
Yeah, and this year is especially interesting, wouldn't you say?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, the Grammys are taking on a bigger role this year.
Definitely.
They're incorporating a whole wildfire relief effort for LA.
Right, which, hits close to home for so many in the music industry.
Exactly. So many artists and everyone involved, really.
Mm-hmm.
But okay, let's get down to it. Will Beyoncé finally snag that Album of the Year award?
All right.
And who are we watching for in that Best New Artist category?
So many talented folks up for that one.
Okay, before we get ahead of ourselves, let's do a quick rundown of the viewing basics,
Sure.
Just in case someone's just joining us.
All right, so make sure you're tuned in at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific.
Yeah.
You can catch it on CBS, or if you're streaming, Paramount Plus.
Terrific.
And we're back at the Crypto.com Arena in Los Angeles.
Of course, of course.
Oh, and don't forget, if you really want to get the full Grammy experience, you can check out the premiere ceremony.
Oh, right.
That's where they announce a lot of the awards in those categories that don't always make it to the primetime broadcast.
Yeah, all the behind-the-scenes important categories.
Right, exactly. And that starts a bit earlier, 3.3 Eastern Time. You can stream it on YouTube or live, grmmy.com.
Awesome. So, we've got the when and the where down, but let's talk about the who, starting with our host for the evening.
Yes.
For the 5th year running, it's Trevor Noah.
Our man Trevor.
I mean, is this becoming a Grammy tradition at this point?
Yeah.
5 years in a row.
It really is quite a run, isn't it? Award shows, they love to switch things up.
They do. They do. Keep it fresh.
Right.
Trying to get people talking. But with Noah, I think they found someone who really strikes a great balance. He's funny, he keeps the energy up, but he doesn't overshadow the artists.
Yeah. He knows when to sort of step back and let the music shine.
Exactly. And remember that bit he did with Lizzo last year?
Oh, yeah.
Hilarious.
Pure gold. And, he's also really good at handling those unexpected moments that, sometimes happen during live broadcasts.
Like that whole Envelope Gate 2.0 thing?
Oh, yeah, he handled that like a pro. Clearly, the Recording Academy sees something special in him 5 years running.
They do. He's quick on his feet, doesn't shy away from those, little hiccups that pop up.
Absolutely. Okay, speaking of must-see moments, let's talk about the performances this year. We've got Billie Eilish, always a visual and sonic experience.
Oh, for sure.
Charli XCX is bringing her amazing energy to the stage.
And the synth pop.
Yes. Shakira's performing. I mean, if anyone can get the audience moving, it's her.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
And we got Lainey Wilson representing for country music. Yeah, she's had a huge year.
She has. And, I mean, it's so great to see such a mix of artists,
Yeah.
It really shows the range of talent across genres.
Definitely. I'm also really excited about that tribute to Quincy Jones.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, talk about a living legend. His impact on music is immeasurable.
Yeah.
I have a feeling that performance is going to be a really special moment.
Yeah, a highlight for sure. I'm kind of curious to see which performance, if any, creates that, viral moment this year, like we saw last year with, I won't spoil it, but let's just say it involved a certain pop princess and a very large hat.
Oh my gosh, yes. I remember that all over social media the next day. Okay, we've got amazing performances lined up, but the big question on everyone's mind is, will this be Beyoncé's year?
Right. The big one.
She's up for Album of the Year for Cowboy Carter.
Yeah.
And fans are definitely on the edge of their seats.
It's huge. I mean, she's already the most Grammy-awarded artist in history.
Wow, yeah.
But she's never won Album of the Year. And, that's not just a coincidence, right? I think it speaks to this larger conversation about how the Academy has historically treated Black female artists.
Yeah, especially in those top categories.
Exactly.
And, I mean, it's not like she doesn't have some serious competition this year.
No.
Taylor Swift's back in the running after winning last year with Midnights.
Yeah.
We've got Billie Eilish in the mix, Charli XCX. A lot of incredibly talented artists.
It's going to be a tough one.
It's going to be a nail-biter, that's for sure.
It'll be really interesting to see how it all shakes out, with the voting and all that. I mean, if Beyoncé does win,
Right.
it could be a really huge moment for the Grammys.
Absolutely.
Signaling a real shift in how they recognize the impact of Black women in music.
For sure. And even if she doesn't win,
Yeah.
the conversation that her nomination has started is so important.
Right. It's bringing these issues to the forefront.
Exactly. It's a good reminder that these awards, they're not just about the trophies, you know?
No, not at all.
They reflect these bigger cultural conversations.
Absolutely. Okay, so speaking of reflecting cultural trends,
Yeah.
can we talk about Best New Artist?
Oh, yeah. That category is stacked this year.
It is. We've got Chappelle Roan with those amazing vocals.
Oh, so good.
And her lyrics are incredible, very introspective.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's Shabuzi
Love it.
blending hip-hop and R&B in such a fresh way.
Right. And Doechii pushing the boundaries of pop music.
Yeah, totally experimental.
And we can't forget Sabrina Carpenter. She's really come into her own.
Mm-hmm. A more mature sound.
Yeah, definitely.
It's a really great mix of artists, and it shows how much, like, genres have changed.
They're not so rigid anymore.
Right, like Doechii. Her music has rap, electronic, even some jazz influences in there.
It's hard to even put her in a box.
Exactly, and that's what's so cool. It feels like the Grammys are finally starting to catch up to how artists are actually creating these days.
Definitely. I'm super intrigued by Shabuzi, too.
Oh, yeah.
His song City Lights.
Oh, yeah, I love that one.
It's like the perfect blend of old school hip hop with a modern twist.
Totally. Nostalgic and innovative.
It really is. I mean, how do you even pick a front runner?
I know. They're all so talented.
Yeah, it's anyone's game.
I think the fact that we have such a diverse group of nominees says a lot about the future of music.
For sure. Moving beyond those old genre lines.
Totally. Embracing what's unique. And you know, that brings us back to something we touched on earlier.
Yeah.
The Grammy support for LA's wildfire relief.
Right. It's not just a side note this year.
No, it feels very integrated into the whole event.
Like a core part of it.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And you know, it's not just some abstract cause for these people.
All right.
I mean, so many artists, producers, musicians have been directly affected by these fires.
It's personal for a lot of them.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I think it's great that the Grammys are making it easy for viewers to help out.
Mm-hmm.
The Recording Academy and Music Cares have set up a relief fund.
Yeah, they'll be sharing how to donate during the show.
A good reminder that even with all the glitz and glam,
Yeah.
there's still a chance to do some good.
Absolutely. It's about being part of something bigger.
For sure. That sense of community really shines through in everything they're doing this year.
I agree. You know, this year's Grammys are looking like a real testament to the resilience of the music community, both in facing these disasters and the changing music scene.
So much to think about tonight. What are you most excited to see?
Honestly, I'm hooked on that possibility of a Beyoncé win.
Right.
I think it would be such a powerful statement for her and for what it represents.
Mm-hmm.
But even beyond that, I'm excited to see these artists perform. You know, seeing them use their platform to connect with people.
And express themselves?
Yeah, and maybe even start some important conversations.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
I'm also really curious to see who snags that Best New Artist award.
Right. Such a talented group.
Whoever wins, I think they're going to be a force in the industry.
Yeah, it's exciting to see who's coming up.
A good reminder that the Grammys aren't just about looking back, but about looking ahead to what's next in music.
For sure. I mean, it does make you wonder, how will the Grammys themselves evolve?
Yeah, good question. Will they become even more inclusive?
Right.
Will they keep using their platform for social issues?
It'll be fascinating to see. These award shows have a huge influence on the music industry.
They really do.
And on culture in general. I'm really interested to see how they use that moving forward.
Yeah, it feels like things are really changing in music right now.
Yeah, I think you're right. Genres are kind of blending together, you know?
Mhm.
Artists are speaking out more. It's an exciting time.
It is. Okay, so as we get ready for the show tonight, what are some key things you want our listeners to think about?
You know, it's important to remember that the Grammys, they're not just a popularity contest. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not just about who's the most famous.
Right.
They really reflect creativity and all these stories behind the music. So pay attention to, you know, who's winning, who's not. What does that say about the industry?
That's a great point. It's easy to get caught up in the show itself,
Yeah, all the glitz.
but there's always a deeper meaning there. And to everyone listening, what speaks to you?
Right.
What artists are pushing boundaries?
Mm.
Which performances give you chills?
Exactly. Don't just watch the show. Really engage with it, you know?
Yeah.
Talk to your friends, debate the winners, maybe discover some new artists. Use this as a starting point.
I love that. It's about making connections and finding new music, too.
Yeah, definitely. And who knows, maybe tonight's Grammys will introduce you to your new favorite artist.
It happens. I remember a few years ago, I saw this performance and I was like,
Oh, yeah.
blown away. Never heard of this artist before.
Wow.
Totally fell down a rabbit hole with their music. Now they're one of my top artists. That's the beauty of the Grammys.
Yeah.
You just never know what's going to spark that passion. All right. Well, as we wrap things up here,
Yeah.
let's raise a glass to a night
Yeah.
of incredible music, exciting moments, and maybe some surprises too.
Cheers to that.
Enjoy the show, everybody, and we'd love to hear your thoughts after you watch. Thanks for joining us for this deep dive.
Thanks for listening, everybody.
Yeah, thanks, everyone.